Turkish President Mr. Erdogan said the first delivery of the Russian S-400 missile defense system would take place within 10 days. A day earlier on Sunday, broadcaster NTV reported that he said there would be no U.S. sanctions over the deal. Viewers may note that the United States and NATO allies were opposing Turkey's decision to buy Russian S-400. America had even warned of imposing sanctions. But things seem to be heading towards a possible resolution. This seems to have happened after Erdogan and the U.S. President Trump met for bilateral talks during G20 summit in Japan. Erdogan has stated Trump said Turkey had been treated unfairly and believed that the dispute over the S-400s would be overcome without a problem. Erdogan said, according to NTV, "In our phone calls when we come together bilaterally, Mr. Trump has not said so far we will impose these sanctions on the S-400s. He said to me, 'You are right, we carried this issue to a very advanced level.' He added, 'At this advanced level, Trump said, this is injustice. This is very important. I believe that we will overcome this process without any problems.'" Erdogan said the two leaders had agreed to delegate officials to follow the issue so as to resolve it. It's important to note in this context that the United States had offered to sell Raytheon-made Patriot missile defense to Turkey as a replacement for S-400. Erdogan was quoted by NTV as saying, "One S-400 is worth 3 Patriots. If the conditions are even equal to the S-400 deal, we would buy Patriots. But if they are not, then we have to think of our interests." In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why Turkish president is correct in stating that 1 Russian S-400 is worth 3 American Patriots. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by the free-to-play military vehicle combat game War Thunder. We talk a lot about military vehicles on this channel, but what about trying them out for yourself? In War Thunder, you can choose from more than 1,200 playable vehicles from the 1930s to the 1990s and go to battle on more than 80 theaters of war. You can fly aircraft, helicopters, drive tanks, and command ships of all types and sizes, which have been carefully recreated from their real-world counterparts. It's available as a free download on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. So grab your friends and give it a try. All viewers of Defense Updates that register using the link in the description below will also get a free premium tank or aircraft and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. The United States, NATO nations, and members of the Joint Strike Fighter program are all concerned that S-400 will be able to gather technical data such as radar signature of F-35s. If Turkey operates the jets in the airspace, which is monitored by S-400, this could potentially pass onto Russian hands and give them an unprecedented edge in future conflicts. Furthermore, in an integrated air defense system setup, S-400 will be hooked to Turkish air defense. This could lead to critical compromise since the Turkish defense will have profiles of F-35s already set for IFF, identification, friend or foe, and through S-400, Russia could get that information. In addition, having the S-400 linked into Turkish defense networks could potentially give Russian analysts access to sensitive information that passes through the cloud-based, multinational Autonomic Logistics Information System (ALIS) system of F-35s. ALIS has critical mission data and flight routes. U.S. Army General Curtis Scaparrotti, the head of U.S. forces in Europe, told a Senate Armed Services Committee that "My best military advice would be that we don't then follow through with the F-35, flying it or working with an ally that's working with Russian systems, particularly air defense systems, with what I would say is probably one of the most advanced technological capabilities." NATO Allied Air Commander General Todd Walters had stated, "Anything that an S-400 can do that affords it the ability to better understand a capability like the F-35 is certainly not to the advantage of the coalition." The American Patriot missile system is manufactured by Raytheon. It entered service in 1981. Patriot systems have been sold to many countries like the Netherlands, Poland, Germany, Japan, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait, to name a few. The Patriot system is expected to remain in the service until at least 2040. Russia's S-400 is designed by Almaz Central Design Bureau as an upgrade of the S-300 family. It entered service in 2007. The system has been sold to China, and India has also committed to acquiring it. Let us now look at 3 aspects where S-400 is much better than Patriot. The radar is the eye of an air defense system and is used to detect and track targets. The AN/MPQ-65 radar in Patriot PAC-3 is a passive electronically scanned array radar. It's equipped with IFF, identification, friend or foe, and electronic countermeasure to resist jamming. The radar has a range of around 160 kilometers. S-400 uses multiple radars depending on threat perception. The primary one is either the 91N6E Big Bird Acquisition and Battle Management Radar or 92N6E Gravestone Multi-Mode Engagement Radar. These have a range of around 600 kilometers. The main radar is complemented by target acquisition radars like 67N6 Gamma D or 9N6 Protivnik G radars in L-band, Nebo SVU in the very high frequency band, and Nebo M in multiband. The Nebo SVU and Zebu M have claimed capability against stealth aircraft. Patriot PAC-3 introduces the new MIM-104F missile, which is also referred to as the PAC-3 missile. It has reduced size compared to previous Patriot missiles and is more maneuverable. The missile uses hit-to-kill strategy, though it has small high fragmentation warhead to enhance the kill probability. For aerial targets like aircraft and drones, Patriot MIM-104F missile has an engagement range of 160 kilometers, whereas for ballistic missiles it has a range of about 30 kilometers. S-400 deploys multiple missiles to cover its full strike envelope. 1. Very long-range 40N6, 400 kilometers. 2. Long-range 48N6, 250 kilometers. 3. Medium-range 9M96E2, 120 kilometers. 4. Short-range 9M96E, 40 kilometers. For aerial targets like aircraft and drones, S-400 missile has maximum engagement range of 400 kilometers, whereas for ballistic missile, it has a range of about 60 kilometers. The maximum speed of targets for successful elimination is up to Mach 6.5, or 2,200 meters per second for Patriot, and Mach 14, or 4,800 meters per second for S-400. So S-400 can take down targets that the Patriot cannot handle. This is very important as hypersonic missiles are coming to fore. The deployment time for Patriot is 30 minutes, whereas it's 5 minutes for S-400. This means military commanders will find S-400 to be more agile. The launch angle of Patriot's missile is 38 degrees, whereas for S-400 it's 90 degrees. The vertical launch enables missiles of S-400 to have seamless 360-degree target envelope. Keeping all these aspects in view, it can be said that Mr. Erdogan is more or less correct in his statement when he states that Russian S-400 is worth 3 American Patriots. It's not that Turkey is the only country that wants the S-400. China received its first S-400 regiment in July of last year. It's reported that China has ordered 2 S-400 regiments for an estimated $3 billion. On the 5th of October 2018, during India-Russia bilateral annual summit held in New Delhi, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin finalized the deal of S-400. India will get 5 regiments of S-400, and the contract is worth $5.5 billion. The delivery is expected to start in the next year. Major defense deals are often finalized based not only on the technical specification of the platform, but also taking into consideration of geopolitical situations. Many times, weapons with better capability lose out because a country may select a weapon of slightly lesser quality if it's being delivered by a preferred nation. Preference comes from many aspects, like if the two nations have defense pacts, past experiences, and alignment of interests. This is the case with most nations that have gone with Patriot. But if only technical capabilities are taken into account, the S-400 is a better system when compared to Patriot.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.